Prabhupada Parhamsakacharya Ashtotara Shata Srimad Abhay Charanaravindra Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki jai. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. All glories to the humble devotees. All glories to the humble devotees. All glories to the humble devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. So welcome to this morning Bhagavatam class. Today we are reciting the words from Canto 4, Chapter 23, Mahārāja Pṛthu's Going Back Home, and the text number 14. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Text 14. Sampidya prayum parshnibiyam vayum ussarayanchanaha Nabhyam kshutche avastapya hrud urakanta sirshani sampirjapayum parshnibhyam vayum utsarayanchanaye Nabhyam kshotcheva avastapya hrud urakanta sirshani sampirjapayum parshnibhyam vayum utsarayanchanaha Nabhyam kshoteshva avastapyam hrud urakanta sirshani. Prabhuji. Sampirjapayum parshnibhyam vayum utsarayanchanai Nabhyam kosteshvavastapya hrudurakanta shirshani Sampirjapayum parshnibhyam vayum utsarayanchanai Nabhyam kosteshva avastapya hruda kanta seshanai. Mataji. Sampirjapayum parshnibhyam vayum utsarayanchanaye Nabhyam kosteva avastapya hrud urakanta sirshana Sampirjapayum parshnibhyam vayum utsarayanchanaye Nabhyam kosteshva avastapya hrudurakanta sirshani. Word to word meaning. Sampidya, by blocking. Payum, the door of the anus. Parshnibhyam, by the calves. Vayum, the air which goes up. Utsarayan, pushing upward. Sanai, gradually. Nabhyam, by the navel. Kshoteshu, in the heart and in the throat. Avastapya, fixing. Hrid, in the heart. Ura, upward. Kanta, throat. Shirshani, between the two eyebrows. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Please repeat the translation. When Mahārāja Pṛthu practiced a particular yogic sitting posture, he blocked the doors of his anus with his ankles, pressed his right and left calves, and gradually raised his life air upward, passing it onto the circle of his navel, up to his heart and throat, and finally pushed it upward to the central position between his two eyebrows. Purport. The sitting posture described here is called Muktasana. In the yoga process, after following the strict regulative principles controlling sleeping, eating and mating, one is allowed to practice the different sitting postures. The ultimate aim of yoga is to enable one to give up his body according to his own free will. One who has attained the ultimate summit of yoga practice can live in the body as long as he likes, or as long as he is not completely perfect. Leave the body to go anywhere within or outside of the universe. Some yogis leave their bodies to go to the higher planetary system and enjoy material facilities therein. However, intelligent yogis do not wish to waste their time within the material world at all. They do not care for the material facilities in higher planetary systems, but are interested in going directly to the spiritual sky, back home, back to Godhead. From the description in this verse, it appears that Mahārāja Pṛthu had no desire to promote himself to the higher planetary systems. He wanted to return home immediately, back to Godhead. Although Mahārāja Pṛthu stopped all practice of mystic yoga after realizing Krishna consciousness, he took advantage of his previous practice and immediately placed himself on the Brahma Bhuta platform in order to accelerate his return to Godhead. The aim of this particular system of asana, known as the sitting posture of our liberation or Muktasana, is to attain success in Kundalini chakra and gradually raise the life from the Muktasana chakra, Muladhara chakra, to the Swadhisthana chakra, then to the Manipura chakra, Ananta chakra and Vishuddha chakra, and finally Ajna chakra. When the yogi reaches the Ajna chakra, between the two eyebrows, he is able to penetrate the Brahmarandra or the hole in his skull and go to any planet he desires, up to the spiritual kingdom of Vaikuntha or Krishna Loka. The conclusion is that one has to come to the Brahma Bhuta stage for going back to Godhead. However, those who are in Krishna consciousness or who are practicing Bhakti Yoga, Sarvanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Padasevanam, can return to Godhead without even practicing the Muktasana process. The purpose of Muktasana practice is to come to the Brahma Bhuta stage, for without being on the Brahma Bhuta stage, one cannot be promoted to the spiritual sky, as stated in Bhagavad Gita 14:26. Mam chayo vyabhicharena bhakti yogena sevate sa guna samatityane brahma bhuyaya kalpate. The Bhakti Yoga practice, the Bhakti Yogi practicing Bhakti Yoga is always situated on the Brahmabhuta stage, Brahmabhuyaya kalpate. If a devotee is able to continue on the Brahmabhuta platform, he enters the spiritual sky automatically after that and return to Godhead. Consequently, a devotee need not feel sorry for not having practiced the Kundalini chakra or not penetrating the 6 chakras one after another. As far as Mahārāja Pṛthu was concerned, he had already practiced this process, and since he did not want to wait for the time when his death would occur naturally, he took advantage of the Sat chakra penetration process and thus gave up the body according to his own free will and immediately entered the spiritual sky. Let's do Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadate Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpa tarubhyasya krupa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Ebhyo namo namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So we are continuing the Pṛthu Mahārāja pastimes, and it's the final section of the Pṛthu Mahārāja pastime where he is going back home, back to Godhead. And in this today's verse, it was explained how he is utilizing his bhakti as well as his yogic process to go back to Godhead. So he practiced Ashtanga Yoga, and then he practiced Bhakti Yoga. When he realized, when he got the darshan of Krishna, when he realized Krishna, and now he was completely absorbed in meditating Krishna. But then at this time he thought, okay, it's the right time to leave the body, because he was completely absorbed in Krishna and his mind was fixed on Krishna, lotus feet of Supreme Lord. So now he was thinking that, okay, this was the right time to go back to Godhead. So in this verse, today's verse, it was explained how he's utilizing his Ashtanga Yoga, the yoga practice he did, how he is utilizing that to leave his body. Now, we can think that when we see Pṛthu Mahārāja is a bhakti, great devotee of the Lord. And when we see the Shikshastakam verse, Nadanam Najanam Na Sundarim Kavitam Va Jagadisha Kamaye Mama Janmane Janmaneshware Bhavatar Bhakti Raheti Kitvayi. Right? I don't want anything, just I want to only bhakti, your bhakti, life after life. Right? That was the mood of devotee. But in this case, Pṛthu Mahārāja himself trying to leave the body. So devotee generally don't look for any liberation. Generally what is our mood? We want to get out of this body to come out of all these material miseries. But is Pṛthu Mahārāja thinking in that direction? He's a devotee. Generally he doesn't bother wherever body goes, as long as he is having the devotion, that should be fine. That will be the mood of the devotee. But how we can understand what is the mood of the Pṛthu Mahārāja, why he is trying to leave the body forcefully with the yogic practice, even though it is not having any natural death at that moment. But with the yogic power, he was trying to come out of his body and leave the body, when he was deeply absorbed in Krishna. lotus feet of Krishna. So, in this case, we can understand this Pṛthu Maharaj reason from Mukunda Mala Stotra of King Kulishekar. Right? There is a famous verse. Krishna Tvadiya Padapankaja Panjarantam Ajjaiva me Vishatu Manasa Raja Hamsa Prana Prayana Samye Kapavata Pitta Kanta Varoda Vida Samsmaranam Kutaste. So in this, King Kulishekara was telling, "Oh Krishna, let the royal span of my mind immediately enter the stems of your lotus feet. For at the time of death, when my throat is choked with mucus, bile and air, how will I be able to remember you?" So King Kulishekara was saying that if death comes naturally, at that time, I am not sure what would be my position. Whether I will be able to speak, whether I will be able to chant, whether I will be able to remember Krishna. So I don't have any control over at that time. Rather, when my senses are properly there, let my mind, allow my mind to fix on your lotus feet. So he doesn't want any distraction when he was fully absorbed with the senses. All the senses and organs are working fine, and he wanted to fix his mind on Krishna. And that absorption he wanted to continue forever without any distraction. Right? That would be the mood when at that time, if he is leaving the body, that should be fine. Right? Even in that mood, when he is deeply absorbed in the lotus feet of Krishna, and he forgot his bodily concept of everything. He completely realized that he is not the body, he is the soul, and his mind was completely fixed on lotus feet of Krishna. And at that time he leaves the body. Obviously, what will happen? He'll go back to Godhead. And he will have complete absorption in Krishna. He can directly see the Krishna. So his consciousness will not change. But if he is continuing in the material world, he may have distractions. He may encounter any distractions. That absorption may go. Right? So this is the reason we can understand the mood, how devotees think. So that's where even from the Kulishekara's prayers, what we can say, we don't need to postpone our devotion to the end of the life. When you are doing the life proper, when your life is proper, we fix your mind on Krishna and lotus feet of Krishna and absorb in Krishna. In that time, if you leave the body, it will be good, and you will continuously remembering Krishna forever. Right? In the same mood, Pṛthu Maharaj was doing that. So his mind was completely fixed on lotus feet of Lord, and is now when he is in that absorption state, he was trying to leave the body. So that is the mode we can understand. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, we can see. So in the Pṛthu Maharaj, what he was saying in that mode, he is activating Chakras. He moved the pranavayu up above eyebrows, and then from there he wanted to leave the body. Generally, this is the skull, the Brahmarandra is there. When the soul, for the devotees, the soul will leave through Brahmarandra, then he will go back to spiritual planet, Vaikunta or the Krishna Loka. Right? So that is how he is practicing. So we can see similarly Bhishma Dev pastime in Bhagavatam as well. Like Bhishma Dev was, after he was lying on the bed of arrows, he waited for a long time for the right time, the Uttarayana's time, that when sun moving into the northern hemisphere. Right? So he was waiting for the right time. It is considered an auspicious. It was considered as auspicious time, and then he was waiting for that time to come. Meanwhile, before the battle, he completed all his responsibilities. He was to take care of the Kuru dynasty. He has to establish the proper king, and the kingdom he has to take care. Even though he is not directly ruling, but he has to put the right king, and he has to ensure that all the Kuru dynasty is proper. So he completed all the responsibilities, everything. Then finally he was lying on the bed and waiting for Krishna to come. So by the will of the Leela of Krishna, and Yudhishthira was having he was feeling lamentation, and then with all the Yudhishthira and many sages, he finally arrived at Bhishma Dev place where he was lying on the bed of arrows. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam it was described, the man who spoke on different, and then when Yudhishthira came to the Bhishma Dev, he spoke many topics, like multiple things. He gave so much knowledge to Yudhishthira at that time. Then man who spoke on different subjects with thousands of meanings and who fought on thousands of battlefields and protected thousands of men, stopped speaking and being completely free from all bondage, withdraw his mind from everything else and fixed his wide open eyes upon original personality of Godhead Krishna. So what he did at the end, Bhishma Dev, what he completely detached from everything, all the material things, and finally when Krishna was there standing right in front of him, he completely started fixing his mind on Supreme Lord. And by pure meditation, looking at Lord Krishna, he at once was freed from all material inauspiciousness and was relieved of all bodily pains caused by the arrow of wounds. Thus all the external activities of his senses at once stopped, and he prayed transcendentally to controller of all living beings by quitting his material body. So then what he did, he detached from all his material activities, and all the senses he was trying to fix his mind on Supreme Lord Krishna, who is lying just in front of him. And finally, Bhishma Deva said, let my invest my thinking, feeling and willing, which were so long engaged in different subjects and occupational duties, in all powerful Lord Krishna. So this is how he detached himself. So what I was trying to derive the conclusion is, we'll have one more pastime, and then we'll derive what exactly we compare the similarities with Pṛthu Maharaj. Similarly, Parikshit Maharaj, he was cursed by compared to the Pṛthu Maharaj and Bhishma Dev, Parikshit Maharaj's story is a little bit different. Even though he is not having the Ichcha Mrityu, but he knows that he is going to live in 7 days, right? So when he got to know, he came to the banks of Ganges, and Sukadeva Goswami came. He started listening Bhagavatam, and 7 days, 7 nights, without even taking food or water, anything, he was completely fixed his mind. And in the Bhagavatam says, Mahārāja Pṛthu sat down on the bank of Ganges upon a seat made of darbha grass, with the tips of its stakes facing east, and turned himself toward the north. Having attained the perfection of yoga, he experienced full self-realization and was free of material attachment and doubt. The saintly king settled his mind within his spiritual self by pure intelligence, proceeded to meditate upon supreme absolute truth. This is all he is doing after listening Srimad Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami. So he was sitting in a yogic posture and he was completely meditating upon Krishna. His life had ceased to move and became stationary as a tree. So he was absorbed completely in Krishna and using the yogic process to live his body. Before Takshak come and bites, he almost left the body. So this is with all these pastimes, like the Pṛthu Maharaj pastime, Bhishma Dev pastime, and Parikshit Maharaj pastime. Some commonalities we can derive. What is that commonality? Right? First thing, they detached themselves from the bodily concept of life. And they detached everything from the material bondages. And finally, then what they did? They tried to fix his mind on Supreme Lord. And these are the two commonalities, where fixing the mind on Krishna, the lotus feet of Supreme Lord, and before making their mind fixed on Krishna, what exactly? They are completely detached themselves from the bodily concept of life. That is, so this first stage in the today's purport, Prabhupada was mentioning, it is Brahma Bhuta stage. This is the stage where you are identifying yourself as a spirit soul. You are not the body. We are not the body. We are the soul. Then one question we can ask. So we are reading Bhagavad Gita from so many years, so many days, and we understand the basic principle. As soon as we start Bhagavad Gita, we think that I am not the body, I am the soul. So can I say I am in Brahma Bhuta state? What is the difference between actual Brahma Bhuta state, having just knowledge? This is whatever we are seeing from Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, and thinking that okay, we are understanding that we are not the body, we are the soul. But what is actually Brahma? That is not having knowledge will not make you to bring in Brahma Bhuta state. Realizing that you are not the body, you are the soul. How your realization means? Suppose example, you wake up, suppose you stay late in the night and you want to wake up for Mangalarti. You feel that, oh, my body is fully tired, I can't wake up. Right? And when you do the Nirjala Ekadashi once in a year, before night you feel, make it ready. Oh, let me have proper dinner in the night, right? And the next day morning, my body will have some strength to cope up. or as soon as you finish Ekadasi, next day morning, you will be ready to honor prasadam. Right? So, in all these thinkings, and suddenly if you have some headache or anything is coming, then okay, I'm not feeling well, so let me put my service down and let me relax, let me take rest. Right? In all these activities, what are we doing? We are focusing on our bodily comfort. As long as you are thinking that, you know, you are not the body, you are the soul, but all your activities directed towards your body. Without, our concept, consciousness is built like that. That is where we are in the material condition life, where we think that it is, though we know we are the body, we are the soul, we are not the body, but we always think. But how? Brahma Bhuta state, we can understand a live example from Srila Prabhupada. Even though he is a Nitya Siddha, he was eternally situated all the time. He was in the consciousness of Krishna consciousness. He identifies himself as it is a spirit soul. But yeah, he is a Nitya Siddha. But what he did, at the age of, in the old age, when happily he can relax and sit in the Vrindavan, he can do his sadhana. What he did, he traveled to America. The main reason, to preach this message, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, holy name, to Western world. And on the old age, and in the old age, he traveled America. Is that in the way to traveling to America, he got heart attack 2 times. Still, he continued. So, what exactly we can see that? Is he caring about his body? He is not bothered about his body. It was only his mission. His guru told that we need to preach this message in Western world. That he took very strong. So, and then after going there, it's not, the life was not easy. He had so many struggles, right? Every stage, he could have come back to India and happily stay in Vrindavan, do his sadhana. Was it? But he was completely, he did not bother about his bodily comforts. Whatever pains he was getting, sufferings he is getting bodily level, he completely ignored. That is the example we can see. When we realize that we are not the body, we are soul, we act in that way. Not just knowledge purpose. We realize means we put it in our action. It's not that now tomorrow onwards I don't care all my body. No, that is not the case. But your consciousness you have to develop. You have to take care of your body to perform your sadhana and service. But at the same time, your consciousness is that you are not the body, you are the soul. Your motive, your consciousness should be in that direction. So this way, when you do that, this is called Brahma. And the Bhagavad Gita 18.54 says, Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma Naso Chati Nakangshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhakti Labate Para. So the translation says in 1854, one who is thus transcendentally situated at once realize the supreme Brahman and become fully joyful. He never laments or desires to have anything. He is equally disposed toward every living entity. In that state, he attains pure devotional service unto me. So, this is what the Brahma Bhuta state. So, when you are not, what exactly the key characteristic of Brahma Bhuta? Naso chati nakangshati. You don't lament and you don't desire. The lamentation, desire, all on bodily platforms, you will not have anything. That's what we can see. Prabhupada, he does not having any personal desires, because after establishing Krishna conscious ISKCON movement, he was one of the richest person in terms of the temples, everything. But he was completely still, he was focusing his activities on commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam and building more temples, bringing more people on Krishna. He was not trying to enjoy the results which he got through this devotional service, right? His focus was on preaching more and writing commentary, and that's how we can see. So there is no lamentation and no desires. And what is the third one, the positive character? Prasannatma. He is always joyful and happy, satisfied. That these are the characteristics. So now, this is when you remove the bodily concept of, you will reach this state. These are the characters. Nasochati, nakangshati, and you will be feeling joyful and happiness. This is what, if you can see from all the pastimes which you discussed, Pṛthu Maharaj and everything, they are not completely ignored all the bodily features. They completely absorbed in where consciousness ways. They fixed their mind on Krishna. And even Pṛthu Maharaj was also doing the same thing. There is in the purport Prabhupada was mentioning, for impersonalists, those who wanted to merge in Brahman, this Brahma Bhuta is the ultimate goal. From there they would like to merge with Brahman. But for devotees, This is the just beginning. Now you are on the platform. From there, when you go to get the association of devotees, when you come to the temple, your devotion starts. Like if you want to travel to some other country, you need to go to the airport first to take the flight, right? Then only you can travel. Similarly, if you want to practice devotional service, then first you come to this light. You realize that you are not the body, you are the soul. With that consciousness you develop, and then you start doing the bhakti. So this is how we can understand. And one more thing, how Pṛthu Mahārāja was trying to go back to the Godhead with all the Bhakti and Ashtanga Yoga. He was using the Ashtanga Yoga process. In that it was mentioning Kundalini Chakra. Kundalini means, there are two separate things. Kundalini means it's a spiritual energy which is in dormant state, which is below your spine in our body. That is the location of that spiritual energy is, it's in dormant state, it is not active. Right? So that is the Kundalini, the energy. And in our body, there are different chakras, 7 chakras available. The chakra nothing but it is a energy center. When you practice the yoga, and you will activate this Kundalini energy behind the spine, and when you move upwards, that energy will pass through each chakra in your body. As and when it passes through each chakra, the transformation happens in your body, both physically and consciousness-wise. So this is the chakra. And finally, it comes to eyebrows, and from eyebrows, it will go from the Brahmarandra. The soul will, the pranavayu, the life air, will go out of this. So it will be in the dormant state and below the spine, and the 7 chakras it will pass through each and each. As and when it passes through each chakra in the body, it is there in different locations. I will go through that. As and when it passes through each chakra, that area will be cleansed, and then it will move up. Finally, it goes. So what are the different chakras? It is available in the body. It is mentioned in a purport as Mooladhara chakra. It's a root. It's a base of spine. And when with yogic practice, when you do all the yama, niyama, prana, you become perfect. Using your yogic siddhi, you will activate by sitting posture, and you will start activating this Kundalini, the energy of the dormant energy. Then when it is activated, the first thing, it is in the Mooladhara chakra. It's under the spine, where the position of the same Kundalini energy is stayed. Right? That is activated. When that is activated, what will happen? What changes will come? It will come in stability, in your physical stability, grounding. So your consciousness wise, you will be calm and composed. You will not having any anxiety, agitation. These are the results which you will get when the Mooladhara chakra is activated. Then it is Swadhisthana. That is, it's a lower abdomen below navel. That is the next chakra. So when the yogic, that's what we can see in the purport also, Pṛthu Mahārāja was doing the same thing. So then when the chakra is activated, the function is creativity increases and emotional bonding will come. So these are the characteristics it will develop when this Swadhisthana chakra. And then Manipura, it is upper abdomen. And when this chakra is activated, what will happen? Your willpower, confidence and personal power will come. Next, Ananta. This is the center of chest and heart region. Then what will happen when this chakra is activated? It will come love, compassion, forgiveness. Then the next chakra is Vishuddha. That is throat. When the chakra is activated, your communication will be improved, and self-expression, you speaking truth, those things will be done. And Ajna, the third eye, this is what mentioned in. It is between the eyebrows. Then insight, spiritual perception, these things will be developed. And finally, there is one more chakra, Sahasrara. This is the top of the head, crown. So divine connection. When this chakra is activated, you will be connecting to Godhead and transcendence. So, but these are all the various chakras which were mentioned in this, in connection to this purport. So, Pṛthu Mahārāja is practicing this approach to leave the body. Now, if you see the functionalities of these different chakras bringing in our body, like calm and composure, right? Emotional, creativity, and personal confidence, compassion, forgiveness, and communication, self-expression, and divine connection. The spiritual knowledge, divine knowledge is developing, and all these things are coming. So, when we see this is a complex yoga process, not everybody can follow, right? So, this was applicable in Satya Yuga. At the time, it was valid. People were having the capability to perform such yoga. But in the current yoga, current age, Prabhupada was mentioning, simple, like do your chanting, do your sadhana, come to the temple, associate with the devotees, read Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, and do chanting services in the temple. With this, you will see all these things. Suppose when we started, like all the characteristics, whatever functionalities, like calmness and composure. You get up in the morning, daily attend Mangalarti. You do sadhana, morning sadhana, up to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, and then finish your morning sadhana. Gradually you will develop this state. Calmness, composure, and stability will come automatically, right? So whatever the Pṛthu Mahārāja was trying to get through the yogic practice, these all things we can get in through the Bhakti Yoga, the process which Prabhupada defined. And love and compassion, as we practice continuously the devotion, some stage definitely we will develop the compassionate nature towards other living entities. If we don't have a compassionate nature to other living entities, how we are going for distribution, book distribution? What is the purpose of book distribution? Why it is the purpose of preaching? That shows our compassionate nature to bring all the conditioned souls into our bhakti path, right? So these all things we are through bhakti process, we are the compassionate nature we are developing, and the loving nature we are developing. And the communication. Yes, many people are preaching, using they are understanding the Bhagavad Gita and presenting in a different way where people can understand. There are so many billions of people outside, and each person's mindset is different. So our devotees are going in a different areas. According to the people mentality, they are presenting this philosophy. That is what they are using, the intelligence, creativity. So all these things they have developed, the devotees are developing through Bhakti Yoga. And divine, the spiritual perception, right? With all the seva, reading scriptures, all these things. So, what we are we are comparing that. The Pṛthu Mahārāja doing it's a difficult process for the current age of yoga, but we don't need to worry. When we perform this Bhakti Yoga process, which is a process defined by Prabhupada, whatever benefits we are getting through the activating different chakras, we are attaining through the Bhakti Yoga process. Do your morning sadhana, do the service, eat prasadam, read Shastra, Swadhyaya, and that all process will help you to develop the same benefits, whatever benefits you are getting through the Kundalini chakra, you are gaining through this Bhakti Yoga process. So, we don't need to worry about this chakra process, we can get it through the Bhakti Yoga. So, I would like to conclude here. Any comments, Yes, Mataji. Yeah, Mataji. So that's what I was mentioning. verse from Sikshastakam, right? I don't want any nadanam, najan, I don't want money or anything. I only want bhakti, life after life. So with that mode, we can understand that would be the, they want only bhakti, the service to the Radha and Krishna. So that is their mood. We can see, and one thing that we can in our normal for our conditioned nature people, how we can understand that? At the beginning we can keep the goal, right? Okay, back to Godhead is our goal. But as you progress in your bhakti, you will develop that consciousness that okay, it doesn't matter where I go, as long as I get the bhakti, that's enough. So that kind of consciousness attitude you will develop. Maybe in the same life, or we don't know it, what, but that would be happen. Then you don't bother where you are going, right? That would be our state. How we can take that. So, yeah. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Gaura Bhakta Runda ki jai.